Hi everyone, Grandma Lou is back. I am coming in today for a quick lunch. I wanted to make an Old Faithful. I'm surprised I hadn't made this video before because even before I became vegan, I used to make this saute, and it's with green leafy kale, which, as you know in our other videos, green leafy vegetables are full of what? Vitamins A, C, K, and folate. And so I have 2 handfuls of kale here that have been washed. I buy the Taylor Farms bag of kale. You can get it at your local grocery store. Usually it's about $3.99 a bag. It's already chopped for you. And I just rinsed it, and I take 2 handfuls, and that's about 2 cups. And then with the kale, I also have a cup of mushrooms chopped here, a half a yellow onion, and carrots, a cup of carrots. And essentially, I'm just going to saute our veggies, and that's it. And it's going to be really good. Now, I have a half a cup of water already brewing here, and I'm mixing in a teaspoon of our Better Than Bouillon broth to make a broth. And that's what we're going to saute our vegetables in. And then additionally, I went to Trader Joe's. I like trying out new things. And so I got this vegan kale, cashew, and basil pesto. And so we're going to add about 1/4 cup of that, or maybe a little less. I'll kind of measure it out and see. But first, we're going to let our vegetable broth come to a boil and brew, and then we'll saute our veggies. All right, so our vegetable broth has been mixed together, and you see here we have our mushrooms. Again, it was a cup of mushrooms, washed, cut up, diced pieces, and also half a yellow onion. And I was having a conversation with a coworker earlier, and she said, "Oh, I like what you're saying you're gonna fix, but you know, onions really is not my thing." And so when you have something that you don't like the consistency, what I tend to do is that I either cut them up really small, so you don't really know that they're in there, and I don't have an onion problem, so mine are not diced as small, but you could cut it up even smaller, or just use onion powder if you know, if onion is not your thing. And so we have our onion and our mushrooms are sauteing here, and then we're going to add, the recipe called for like 3 garlic cloves, and so I use minced garlic, and so it's 1 teaspoon to 1 clove. So we're going to do 3 teaspoons of minced garlic here, and just measure that out and just stir it all up. And while that's sauteing in the vegetable broth, again, we use the Better Than Bouillon vegetable broth, which is rather tasty, I have to say. And again, just so you can see it in case you want to go in your local store. Now, you do get this in a bigger size if you have a Costco membership. In the store, they sell a smaller size for half the price, so you really save. And I would say one of these lasts me maybe 3 months or so in the fridge. So again, that's the Better Than Bouillon. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle some onion powder, because I had a little less than a half an onion available. And now that we have our onions and mushrooms sauteed, we're gonna go ahead and add the carrots. So again, that's a cup of carrots, and then let them also saute, and then lastly we'll add the kale. All right, this is looking so good. The carrots have softened and really sauteed with the onions and mushrooms. And so now we're just gonna add the kale and let it also simmer, and as it cooks down, and then lastly we'll add the kale and cashew pesto, basil pesto. Everything is looking so yummy. We have our greens, they are coming really soft. I like to let my greens really get wilted. So I'm gonna let these cook a little bit more because I like them to be a little more softened. But it's really coming together. I am going to go ahead and add in the pesto as our finishing touch. And again, this was about 1/4 cup of the kale and cashew pesto. Kale, cashew, and basil pesto. And again, it came from Trader Joe's. And it's going to give it some more flair. And at the end, I'm going to add a little salt and pepper, a little red pepper, to taste. But essentially this is the kale and mushroom carrot saute. And if you wanted to add maybe a piece of toast or some rice, you could. But Grandma Lou is just doing veggies and fruit during this period of detox and cleanliness. I'll come back and do a taste test. All right, so our saute is really nice and sauteed, and the green veggies have really cooked nicely. And so the pesto also gives it a nice flavor, but I'm gonna add some Spike Original seasoning. And this seasoning has a lot of good additives outside of the salts, which is earth and sea salt hydrolyzed. It does have soy, but there's no MSG. It has toasted onion, nutritional yeast, garlic and orange powder. It has dill and kelp, horseradish, mustard flour, orange and lemon peel, celery granules, as well as sweet green and red bell peppers. It has parsley flakes. It has celery root powder, white pepper, turmeric, rose hips, savory onion powder, parsley powder, mushroom powder, coriander, fenugreek, basil, cayenne pepper, spinach powder, cloves, cumin, ginger, marjoram, oregano, thyme, tarragon, cinnamon, safflower, paprika, tomato, rosemary, celery seed, ground. So it is full of tons of natural flavor. And so we're just gonna put a little sprinkle over the food, not too much, because we do already have seasons, and then just a little ground pepper as well to taste. And then just do a last stir. And then I'll do a taste test for you all. And again, bring it in close so you can see these wonderful greens full of vitamins A, K, and C, and folate. And the mushroom has protein. And you have your garlic and your onion. We're gonna dig on in. You can see these greens and mushrooms. They are so yummy. This is a good light savory dish. And just like that, another healthy treat, amazing drink, or something to eat from Grandma Lou. Make sure you comment, share, and like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time.